HS2 was meant to be the future of British rail, but now it's Britain's most expensive construction disaster. What started as a £31 billion project has ballooned to over £106 billion with key sections scrapped before even being built. The northern leg to Manchester, gone. Years of delays, cost overruns, and political backtracking have turned HS2 into a shadow of its original vision. Meanwhile, construction drags on, ancient woodlands are destroyed, and doubts keep growing. But with billions already spent and so much still unfinished, how did it all go so wrong? To understand where HS2 went wrong, we first have to look at what it was meant to be. This wasn't just another railway, it was supposed to transform Britain's transport network. Announced in 2010, HS2 promised to bring high-speed rail to the country, linking London with major cities in the Midlands and the North. Trains would race at 360 kilometers an hour, slashing travel times and easing congestion on the overcrowded West Coast main line. The idea seemed straightforward: build a state-of-the-art rail system that would supercharge economic growth beyond London. By connecting Birmingham, Manchester, and Leeds, HS2 aimed to decentralize business opportunities, boost regional economies, and offer a greener alternative to road and air travel. It was billed as the key to a more connected and sustainable future. At first, the plan seemed within reach. The initial budget, £31 billion, a huge investment, but one that seemed justified. Construction was supposed to begin in 2017, with the first phase, linking London and Birmingham, set to open by 2026. With such ambitious goals, HS2 seemed unstoppable. But as construction began, the cracks in the plan started to show. The groundwork officially began in 2017, starting with demolition and site preparation at Euston Station, set to be the main London terminus. The goal was to create a world-class transport hub, but problems appeared almost immediately. Buying land and compensating displaced residents and businesses drove up costs before construction even had a chance to gain momentum. Meanwhile, the Colne Valley Viaduct, planned as the UK's longest railway bridge at 3.4 kilometers, was announced as a crucial part of the route. Spanning lakes and wetlands, the bridge demanded advanced engineering solutions. By 2021, HS2 had shifted into high gear, with major tunneling operations underway. The Chiltern tunnels, stretching 16 kilometers, were being carved out by massive tunnel boring machines, TBMs, named Florence and Cecilia. These mechanical giants worked day and night, cutting through meters of earth at a time. Engineers used precast concrete tunnel segments to speed up construction, but unforeseen ground conditions and logistical challenges made progress slower than expected. Another key milestone was the Birmingham Interchange, a station designed to link HS2 with local rail and air travel. Sitting close to Birmingham Airport, it was meant to boost regional connectivity. But, like much of HS2, it ran into funding pressures. Meanwhile, Old Oak Common Station in London took on a bigger role. As delays piled up at Euston, it had to step in as a temporary replacement for the planned terminus. At first, everything seemed on track. Trains were supposed to be running, progress was being made, and the vision still felt achievable. But by 2022, the cracks in the project became too big to ignore. Costs had doubled, delays kept growing, and the government pushed back Euston's completion to at least 2035, citing financial struggles. HS2 was running out of time and money. Billions had already been spent. So why was the project falling apart? The problems with HS2 aren't just about one mistake. A storm of rising costs, political indecision, and poor planning hit this project. What started as a bold plan to connect London to the north with high-speed rail was turned into a money pit with endless delays and shrinking expectations. At first, HS2 was expected to cost £31 billion, but that number has exploded to more than £106 billion, $135 billion US, making it one of the most expensive railway projects ever. Why did this happen? A mix of inflation, supply chain issues, labor shortages, and unexpected engineering problems pushed costs higher and higher. The government has already poured billions into buying land, protecting the environment, and starting construction. Yet no one knows when the whole project will be finished. And the worst part? The costs keep climbing, even as the project gets smaller. Then came in one of the biggest setbacks. In October 2023, the government officially cancelled Phase 2, the part of the line that was supposed to connect Birmingham to Manchester. Without this northern extension, HS2's entire purpose is in question. The railway was meant to bring faster travel between the north and south, but now it will only run between London and Birmingham. Is the short route really worth such a massive price tag? Critics say no. Without Manchester in the picture, the project's promised economic benefits are looking weaker than ever. But money and design changes aren't the only problems HS2 has faced. From the very start, political delays and poor planning slowed everything down. Different governments kept changing their minds, leading to years of uncertainty, funding debates, and expensive redesigns. On top of that, government bureaucracy made things even slower, while strong opposition from environmental groups and local communities forced reroutes and constant modifications. Unfortunately, HS2 is not an isolated case. The UK has a long history of megaprojects going over budget and falling behind schedule. Just look at Hinkley Point C, the country's latest nuclear power plant. It's dealing with the same massive delays and skyrocketing costs. Both projects show the same pattern: too optimistic budgets, underestimated challenges, and missed deadlines. And what about the lasting environmental consequences? From the beginning, HS2 has sparked outrage among environmental groups. The railway cuts through ancient woodlands, wildlife habitats, and protected landscapes, particularly in areas like the Chiltern Hills, where rare species and delicate ecosystems are under threat. Despite government assurances that the project includes extensive environmental mitigation efforts, including tree planting and wildlife corridors, conservationists argue that the damage is irreversible. More than 100 ancient woodlands have already been damaged or lost. This has led to protests, legal battles, and even extreme acts of resistance. Activists have climbed trees, camped out in tunnels beneath construction sites, and done everything possible to slow the project down. In courtrooms, lawyers have challenged whether HS2's environmental assessments were done properly. Despite the pushback, the government stands firm, saying HS2 will help cut down pollution by reducing car and plane travel. But is that claim realistic? Many experts aren't so sure. With delays piling up and costs skyrocketing, HS2's promised environmental benefits are looking less and less certain. The construction process itself, tunneling, land clearing, and the use of heavy machinery has already released massive amounts of carbon into the air. The destruction of ancient habitats, some of which have existed for thousands of years, has led many to wonder if HS2's environmental cost outweighs its potential benefits. With these concerns mounting and costs spiraling, is there any hope left for HS2? Today, HS2 is a shadow of what it was meant to be, but it is not without progress. The London-Birmingham section is still under construction, with over 75% of its tunnels completed and significant progress on viaducts, bridges, embankments, and cuttings. However, cost overruns and delays have forced major adjustments. The government has committed to funding the tunnel from Old Oak Common to Euston, ensuring HS2 reaches central London. However, Euston Station's development has been repeatedly delayed due to financial concerns. In the meantime, Old Oak Common will serve as a temporary terminus, requiring passengers to transfer to the Elizabeth line to complete their journey into the city center. With Phase 2 cancelled, HS2 will no longer extend to Manchester, Liverpool, or Leeds, undermining its original goal of connecting key northern cities. The government is now working on a reset of the project, aiming to establish a new cost baseline and construction schedule to regain public and political confidence. Despite HS2 supporting 31,000 jobs and involving 3,400 businesses in its supply chain, its future remains uncertain. The project's rising costs and changing scope have fueled skepticism about whether it will ever be fully realized. Some argue that continuing construction is essential to avoid wasting billions already spent, while others question whether the project still delivers on its promises. So what's next? Can the UK learn from these mistakes, or will history keep repeating itself? Let us know what you think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the world of megaprojects.